let's get the elephant out of the room, or at least address the
Which one?
elephant.
Which one? Yeah.
The
Okay.
elephant that was, boom, Atlantis canceled, boom, SGU is launching, which
Yeah.
led to the greater impression
Mm-hmm.
that one was literally substituted for the other in Sci-Fi Channel's
Mm-hmm.
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Atlantis fans and some, frankly, Atlantis cast members
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
did not take it well and chose to exercise their First Amendment rights to say what they
Right.
wanted
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that before we get into this?
Yeah. No, it's something I mentioned in our discussion of Atlantis's final season. That I honestly did not think it would be Atlantis's final season. I thought
Yeah.
we would do a season of Universe, the first season of Universe, and probably the final season of Atlantis.
Or movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was honestly expecting that sixth season.
Okay.
So it came as a surprise to me that we didn't come back. I ultimately I don't know the reasoning. I mean, I have to say I reached out to the studio, and they said, even though I think financially it didn't make sense for them to do a sixth season of Atlantis, there were other reasons to do it. I think they suggested one of the reasons was obviously to use Atlantis as a lead-in. So, and then when I spoke to the network, they seem to indicate they wanted that, an Atlantis. So I'm not really sure what.
And then it just didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. And like I said, I was disappointed. I know people were like, you guys canceled Atlantis. I actually took a pay cut to go on Universe, which I appreciate. Like I want to do the show, but certainly I was financially worse off without a sixth season of Atlantis. Okay. So believe me, I would have loved to have seen done a sixth season of Atlantis, especially because we had kind of spun kind of very rough ideas of stories we wanted to do for the sixth season. I mentioned I want to do that, Wraith hybrid two-parter for the mid-season two-parter. I thought that would have been fun. And, I was genuinely disappointed in the fans. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, so whatever the reason, I think it was poorly handled in that it certainly gave the impression that one had to be canceled for the other. And really there's no way to sort of argue out of that.
Right.
I don't think at that point.
Well, on the one hand, season 5 was arguably the best season of the show produced. You guys, you were figuring stuff out as you went along, and it got better and better. And a second to that, fans had already been programmed to be able to recognize and kind of get fat and happy with their circumstance of having 2 Stargates running. So we're just going to do this again, and that's not what happened.
No.
So what stories, other than the ones that you wrote, that we're going to get into here in a moment, really stood out to you from your peers for that first season? And which ones?
I'm going to bring up the episode list, but off the top of my head, the opening 3-parter, which was originally a 2-parter.
Oh,
but there was just so much.
Oh, we lost Joe.
Fire.
I lost you, Joe. Can you back up? The 2-parter was originally a 2-parter.
Yes, originally a 2-parter. The opening 2-parter became a 3-parter. And in much the same way that, what was it, Light and Darkness?
Yes.
Was actually 1 episode and then became a 2-parter. Yeah. So hang on. So I mean, really for me, the opener was, really stood out for me. I love the way that it kind of bridged old Stargate with new Stargate, Rick and Daniel guest starring. Which is something maybe will happen in the new spinoff.
I can only hope
when that happens. Yeah,
absolutely.
I sort of like that, and I love sort of the introduction to the cast of characters, and I just love that set. That Destiny set was very much a character, and just that opening of them kind of flying through that gate, coming in hot. It just it just kind of stayed with me. And then of course the design, the introduction of the ship, the introduction of kind of this kind of new FTL window, the jumping. I just that was amazing. And then of course, I mean, obviously the first two episodes were great, and then there was a trip to New Mexico that Rob took for part 3 of Air. That was just gorgeous. And it goes to what I was saying about the fact that you want new looks for planets. You want to differentiate the looks, and I mean, White Sands was gorgeous. So
have you been?
I have not been. I did not go.
I've gone twice. It's one of my three times. Yeah. It's one of my favorite places in the country, and you guys used it to perfection. And the Bisty Badlands, which we'll get into in season 2, was another stunning season. But White Sands really showed that, as far as I was concerned, really showed that you guys were serious in growing the production value and really just putting every penny onto the print. It was solid. I loved Rob's episode Time. I think
I was going to get to that. I mean, I mentioned no. I mentioned another one that stood out for me was Water.
Yes.
Which another, we visited another planet, sort of very Hoth-like, and just kind of a beautiful episode. But yeah, very much, if I think of standout SGU episodes, probably my favorite is Time, because I just love a good time travel episode. And I remember we were breaking the episode in the room, and we kind of broke it in the room, or Raw had the idea, so but he didn't have the ending. And he's like, okay, I don't have the ending. I'm just going to go away and come up. I'll see what I can figure out. And it was quite something. What he came up with was quite something. And I know sort of, a lot of the fans were like, is part 2 next week? What's going on? And, I just love the way that episode ends. It just
was Butch Cassidy a part of the discussion when you guys were all together, or did he come with that later to button up the ending?
I think he probably came up with that at the end.
Okay.
I mean, in the script stage. I mean, you beat out the episode, and Office is not super detailed,
right,
and you leave it to the writer to come up with the details, and Rob did. It was fantastic. I just remember we ended up building that jungle set on one of our stages, and get rain, and it just it was just quite the episode, just from a prep and production standpoint, but also from a finished episode standpoint. It's really one of my, I think, top 5 favorite Stargate episodes.
It looks great. I would agree. It's definitely up there. Hey everyone, it's David. Hope you're enjoying the clips during the break. We will be returning in the spring. In the meantime, are you good with English? Are you one of those people who take pride in your grasp of it? Well, we have a great team over here transcribing the backed catalog of Stargate interviews and have dozens more to go. If you're interested in joining me and a small Stargate diehard community looking to preserve the stories brought to Dial the Gate into text form, then please email me at dialthegateshow@gmail.com. There's a little something in it for you, and you'll be helping to pass along the stories to future generations of fans who have yet to discover the show. Thanks so much for watching Dial the Gate.